Okay, so I'm going to explain why coaches pay me $50,000 in this video. So, if you heard someone paid me $50,000 to help build an appointment setting team, you'd probably think that's insane until you realize they're not paying me for the setters. They're paying to build an asset that generates sales opportunities every single day for the next 5 years. So, in this video, I'm going to be explaining how they do that and why they do that. So, the $500,000 problem. Most coaches eventually become the bottleneck of their own business. It happens gradually. You start responding to DMs, following up with leads, training new setters, and managing performance. Before you know it, you're doing most of the work instead of leading the business. Every time a setter leaves, the entire system breaks down. Growth becomes dependent then on people instead of the infrastructure, and that's extraordinarily expensive. The bottleneck cycle. When a coach becomes the primary sales engine, the business can't scale beyond their personal capacity. This creates a ceiling that no amount of hustle will break through. Replying to DMs manually, following up with every single lead, training and retraining setters, replacing setters constantly, and managing the daily performance. That's where most coaches struggle. The real cost, the problem isn't the setter leaving, it's the entire system collapses when they do. A business built on an individual effort rather than the infrastructure is fragile by its design. When someone exits, you lose not just a person, but the knowledge, the relationships, and the momentum that they build. Most coaches don't have a setup problem, they have a management problem. Without proper systems, every hire is a gamble, every departure is a crisis, and growth is always one resignation away from stalling completely. Every time a setter leaves without a system in place, you're not just losing an employee, you're losing revenue, momentum, and time. Okay, so the next thing, if this button wants to click, what they actually pay me 50k for. They don't pay me 50k for information. They pay me to avoid years of costly mistakes. What they're actually investing in is a complete, repeatable appointment setting infrastructure that works regardless of who sits in the setter seat. It's not a course or a consultation, it's a fully operational department built from the ground up. So we have talent acquisition. These are the things that we build. Talent acquisition, setter sourcing systems, recruitment frameworks, structured interview processes. So making sure we get the best talent. Next is training and onboarding, having a proven DM conversion framework. Weekly training structure, performance review systems. The next thing is having a management infrastructure, KPI dashboard, management systems, scaling infrastructure. And the outcome is having a repeatable system, works with any setter, and generates daily opportunities on sales calls. The key distinction here is systems versus people. When you build an infrastructure, you create an asset that compounds in value. When you rely on individual performers, you create a liability that depreciates the moment they leave. The coach who understands this distinction are the ones willing to invest in something that actually lasts. Okay, next. What happens without this system? So, without a proper appointment setting infrastructure, most coaching businesses operate in a state of permanent chaos. They hire randomly, they train inconsistently, they use weak scripts, and have no meaningful KPIs to track performance. The result is a revolving door of setters, lost leads every single day, and a business owner who has no idea why performance drops from one week to the next. It's a chaotic cycle. Hire randomly, no sourcing system means no quality control. You take whoever applies and not who you actually need. You train them inconsistently without a training framework. Every setter learns differently and most learn the wrong things. And you lose leads daily. Slow responses, weak follow-up, and poor qualification mean revenue walks out the door every single day and other people will take your leads. Fire and rehire. So without the KPIs, you can't coach, you can only react. This creates a costly cycle of turnover. So most coaches don't realize they have a management problem until they've burned through 3 or 4 setters and thousands of dollars in recruitment costs. By then, and time not to mention, by then the damage is done, leads have gone cold, opportunities have been missed, and the business owner is exhausted from constantly putting out fires, hiring, rehiring. So the absence of a system doesn't just cost money, it costs momentum, morale, and market position. So other people are going to compete against you and take your leads. Every week without a functioning setting department is a week your competitors are basically pulling ahead. Most coaches don't have a problem with setters, they have a problem with management. Fix the system and the setter problem fixes itself. So what we build together in my business, we don't patch individual problems. We build a complete appointment setting department from the ground up. This is an 8-step process that takes a coaching business from chaotic and inconsistent lead handling to a predictable, scalable sales machine. Each step on the last, creating a system that compounds in effectiveness over time. So number 1 is source elite talent. We build a consistent pipeline of high quality setter candidates using proven sourcing channels and attraction frameworks. Number 2 is we interview correctly. So we use structured interview frameworks that reveal actual performance potential, not just confidence in a conversation. So we actually make sure that people are good before we hire them. Number 3 is hiring the right people. We make confident hiring decisions based on data and frameworks, not gut feeling or desperation. Number 4 is we install proven DM systems. So we deploy conversation frameworks that consistently move prospects from interested to an actual booked call. Number 5 is we create a management structure. So we build the operational backbone, KPIs, reporting, communication, and accountability systems. And we have that in place ready for the setters to come into your business. Number 6 is we train them every week. So implement ongoing training that continuously improves setter performance and closes skill gaps, so we improve them quickly. Number 7 is we optimize performance. So we use the data from the KPI dashboard to identify what's working, what's not working, and where we need to focus. And lastly, number 8, we scale bookings. So once the system is proven to work, we scale by adding setters in, expanding channels, and increasing lead volume predictably. The goal throughout all of these 8 steps is the same: predictable sales calls every single day, not occasional spikes, not luck-dependent results, a system that generates booked calls on demand every single week. So who pays £50,000 for this, for me to train them on how to set everything up that I just mentioned? This investment isn't for everyone, and that's by design. The coaches who make this investment are typically at a specific stage of business where the ROI is obvious and the cost of inaction is clear. They've already proven their offer works. They already have a lead flow. What they need is infrastructure that converts that attention into revenue at scale. So they have a proven offer. They've already validated their coaching program or service. The offer converts. They just need more qualified conversations happening every day. They have an existing lead flow. There's already demand coming in. The problem isn't awareness, it's that leads aren't being followed up with quickly or effectively enough to convert them. And they already are generating revenue. This is not a startup investment. These are established businesses with real revenue that want to multiply it, not create it from scratch. Okay? And they're ready to scale. They understand that personal effort has a ceiling. They're ready to move from working in the business to working on the infrastructure that drives it. This is not for beginners. It's for businesses that understand systems create freedom, and that the right infrastructure is worth far more than the initial investment. So they're the kind of people I work with. The real reason they pay 50K is this: one elite setter can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, but a great setter is only as valuable as a system that they operate within. The highest level coaches aren't buying labor, they're buying leverage. They understand that a single great hire is valuable, but a system that consistently produces great results, regardless of who is in the seat, is priceless. So what one elite setter does is respond to your leads instantly, follows up relentlessly without being prompted. You don't have to check up on them, qualifies prospects before they reach the coach or disqualifies them, books calls consistently and predictably. A single elite setter working within a proven system can generate 20 to 40 booked calls per month or more at a typical coaching close rate. That's transformative revenue, because even if you're closing at least half, right, you're gonna be closing at least 10, 20, 25, 30 new people every single month. And that's not from existing infrastructure, that's from actually building this new infrastructure. What an elite setting system does. An elite setting system doesn't just double your setter's output, it doubles and triples revenue for years. It creates a department that can scale from one setter to five without the coach needing to be involved in every conversation. The system becomes a business asset. This system, something that generates value whether the coach is working or not working, on vacation or not, whether the original setter is there or not. That is a difference between buying a person and buying an asset. Many people will hire a setter, yes, but when that setter goes, everything breaks. One setter is valuable, fragile, leaves and the revenue stops. The system that I explained is scalable, durable, and compounding, works regardless of who's in the seat. And that's what we build. My business is Apex Setting. I want to show that to you now. This is my website. These are some of the clients, and basically what we do is we source setters, we interview hundreds and thousands of setters, we filter through who's the top 1%, and then we install them into your business. We make sure all the systems are set up on the back end, making sure that they're able to send DMs without getting banned. They're able to have 100 conversations a day, reach out to all the likes, all the comments. They're safely logged into your Instagram without needing your credentials. And ultimately, this system is built. And also your team, if you come to me for training and you pay this fee, your team and you will be completely trained on how to set up everything that I just mentioned. If we go back a couple, everything that I mentioned here, from the 8 things, from sourcing elite talent, interviewing correctly, hiring the right people, installing the proven DM systems, creating a management structure so you know exactly what they're reporting every single day. You're training them weekly, and you understand how to train them weekly, and they're optimized every single day. And you understand how this all creates this system that any setter who is good can come in and out and nothing breaks, and the system is there, built, and permanent. Then that's much more valuable. It's 100 times more valuable than having one setter, because when they leave, everything stops. You're depending on one person. But when you have a system like this built, you can keep scaling and keep scaling and keep scaling without stopping. The moment someone stops, you can get someone new in, for example. So it's a bulletproof system. If you are a coach and you want to scale and you want to teach your team how to do this, or you want us to do it for you, then just get in touch. Link in the bio. Talk to you soon. Take care.